So in today's video, I want to kind of talk about this 15-year-old lens that I found. It was actually kind of funny because it was my mom's coworker who gave it to her because she didn't really use cameras and all that stuff anymore. And it turns out it was actually an EFS lens that would fit on my Canon SL2. And today we're going to balance it on the gimbal and go out and get some cool shots and see what it's capable of. We're back inside now, and I want to talk about this lens. This is the Tamron 28-75 f2.8, and as I said, it's about 15 years old. Now this is an EFS lens, and she actually did have a camera body that came with this lens. It was this beast of a camera. Basically, this was like the top of the line camera for about 2003. It is the Canon 10D, doesn't shoot video, uses this type of memory card, which is really weird. So now right off the bat with this lens, some things I noticed that it does have pretty good color reproduction. The colors do look really nice coming out of the lens. I just shot it all on the standard color profile that the Canon camera comes with. It does have a really old focusing motor because obviously this lens is 15 years old, and it's not the best. It doesn't really work too well with Canon's dual pixel autofocus. It tries to do its own weird thing. So I mean, the focusing doesn't really work too well. For one of those shots, I actually had such a problem focusing that I just set it to manual focus and did it myself. But generally the autofocus does work. I wouldn't really trust it with face tracking. I just set it so it was centered, so basically the center of the frame is what it would focus on. And now obviously this is not a vlogging lens. It's a 28mm, so it's pretty zoomed in. Basically this is an 18mm frame. If I zoom in the 28 here, this is what it looked like at 28mm. Now obviously this scene's filmed on my 18-35 from Sigma, so not a vlogging lens, does not have image stabilization in it, which isn't really too bad because it is light enough that I can actually balance it on my gimbal. That's why I was super excited to get a lens like this. Now to actually talk about the footage, it is nice and sharp. I was actually really surprised, and I was kind of worried because there are some scratches on it. There's some dust that are stuck beneath the glass, so I was kind of worried those would show up in the shot, but they actually didn't. It does provide a really nice image, so I'm definitely going to keep using it. And the fact that it's even at an f2.8 is still pretty good. It does give a nice shallow depth of field. It will be decent in low light. And another really interesting feature this lens has is basically there's this little lock right here where I can lock it and then it won't zoom in, so it'll just stay at 28mm, which is pretty cool. I do really like that feature. I didn't really use it much because I mean it just stays zoomed like this anyway. I mean, I guess that'd be good for transporting or something. And the macro capabilities of this lens is actually really incredible. This shot right here is actually a shot of some concrete, and I just filmed it. This lens zoomed it all the way in to 75mm. So I did some shots of video with this lens side by side with the 18-35 to kind of get a reference, because this 18-35, very high-end, relatively modern lens that's still very popular that a lot of people use. It's a very sharp lens, and I'd say it looks pretty comparable once it goes through YouTube's processing and stuff. You probably won't even be able to tell a difference, but it does look really good. You can see that both do a really good job with keeping everything that's needed to be in focus. And keep in mind, these shots I filmed at 1.8 on the Sigma and at 2.8 on this lens. I did do some portraits, kind of see what I could do. Now this was taken with the 18-35. It's a picture of me. I posted it on my Instagram. You should go follow me. And this is a picture I took yesterday of Willis. A very nice picture. And the same thing in video. It is tack sharp. Willis is perfectly in focus and the background is nicely blurred because of that f2.8. So overall, it is a really solid lens. And even though it is 15 years old, I would like to look into seeing if Tamron can maybe tweak it up a little bit and just kind of get in there, clean it, see, maybe do something about the scratches. I don't know. But if I tried, I feel like they're just going to tell me I should get the new version. But I don't know. This one's a very solid lens. I love the range. 75 is actually pretty decently zoomed in. It's actually kind of significantly further than my 18-55, and it stays at f2.8 the entire time. So this shot of Willis here was at 75mm. The background's just completely lost. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me, guys. I'll keep you guys updated maybe if something happens to it or something weird. But so far, fantastic lens. Really nice and sharp. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Peace out.